Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Welcome and thank you for stopping by. It is fantastic that you are here. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Billy Ray Cyrus. And through his song Back to Tennessee, we talked about the fact that sometimes we need to go home to center ourselves because we cannot escape when we go home. So I trust you enjoyed that one. We all need centering from time to time, it would seem. Well, we go from there to Christopher Lefriant, who was born in Paris in 1969, but he is more well known in the music industry as Bob Sinclar. Now, this guy is a record producer, a house mix DJ, and he's been involved with artists such as Jamiroquai, Moby, Madonna, and Rihanna. So he's very well regarded for his DJ prowess as well as his remixing capabilities that he does. He's also released some songs in his own name between 1998 and 2011. He's released 7 albums and 41 singles. So it's just one of these guys that kind of does what he does and people use him from time to time, and he has been able to make really cool differences in this world. Because one of the things that Bob is inspired by is peace and love. I mean, a lot of people say they're inspired by peace and love. I think we're all inspired by peace and love to a certain extent. We want the world to be a little bit more peaceful, and we certainly want people to be more loving towards each other. It's just that sometimes, well, more often than not, we need to be reminded of the fact that we are all human beings on this planet. But Bob doesn't just talk the talk, he actually walks the walk. And there's a couple of songs, well, there's one song in particular I wanted to talk about today that came out in 2005. And this particular song was a collaboration with Gary Pine. Now, Gary is a Jamaican reggae legend, and between 1995 and 2018, he has released 5 albums in his own right. So there's nothing like reggae to do the whole carefree, peace, love kind of thing. And when Bob decided to write this song, he needed that kind of groove about him. And so out in 2005 came this song, Love Generation. And I suppose this is the song I particularly want to talk about today, because the world desperately needs to hear these words. And we'll get on to the clip in a minute because it's quite a compelling one. It seems to me that we have the hate generation at the moment. You know, people are in this world for themselves. People are into this world for what they can get out of it. People are into this world not necessarily thinking about other people. We seem to have gone down this track for some reason. I don't know why it is. We much prefer to go that way than to work out how we can get on with people. Now you may be thinking, well, yeah, I get on with people. You know, I try my best. Well, yes, we all say that and we all do that. But you know what? When we can put ourselves aside a little bit and to think about the fact that I'm actually going to help another person because they need the help, not because of what I am going to get out of it. This is what love is. Love is patient and kind, and love does not keep a record of wrongs. Love always hopes and also always perseveres. Love is an encompassing force, potent force of nature. Love is a thing that takes us over and enables us to do amazing acts of generosity for other people. Love is the thing that does this, because we can't control love. We really can't. Love controls us. And sometimes love needs to be the controlling factor because of the things I talked about, the patience and kindness and all the rest of it. Sometimes love needs to take over. And I think when we talk about love generation, I think, you know, certainly my generation, the generation before mine, we have not been so good at love. You know, we've tried our best. We have instilled some values of kind of being trying to get on with each other. But the world isn't in a very good place at the moment. We've got about 100 million people displaced in the world at the moment because people cannot get on with each other. I think the hope of this song is that well, whereas my generation may not understand it or get it, hopefully the next generation will stand up and think, what do you mean we're going to go to war today? No, we're not. Why do we need to go to war? Can't we talk about this stuff instead? but the fighting goes back thousands and thousands of years. Yeah, I know, but at some point it's got to stop, right? It's got to stop. Syria's been going for 10 years. At some point, it's got to stop. And the only way it can stop is when both sides sit down, realise what they're doing, and actually put a stop to it. Love generation. So it's not what I can get out of the deal that is going to win in situations like that. It is, what are you, what are we going to get out of the deal so that we can progress forward in a new way. Now, I think the issue with some countries in the world, I think, is that certainly it's almost like both sides have got a bit of a case, and you know they're needing to actually try and get that case to keep going. Well, if both sides have got a case, it probably means there needs to be a new case. A new way of doing things so that everybody is happy. We just pull out the guns way too quickly these days. We pull out the suing way too quickly these days. Can't we just stop and think about what we're doing before it's too late? Now, this song is so compelling, and I might as well talk about the clip now. And by the way, the links to both of these clips are in the description below, so you'll see them there. The first one is Love Generation. This clip is beautiful in its simplicity. All we've got here is a kid riding a bike around the streets. There's something beautiful and innocent and hopeful about this image, but as he rides around his neighbourhood, he finds himself waving to all kinds of different people. And we have a lot of cultural diversity in this clip, and that's just really making the point that we are all human beings and that we all respond to goodness and kindness. And certainly as this kid who's just riding his bike goes through the day, he certainly feels like he makes a difference in the world just through his friendliness. And you can see at the end of the clip when he's talking to his mum just how excited he is to have the day that he has had. He knows that he has made a difference. And I think we all want to make a difference of some sort. And if we can go to bed that night knowing that we have made a positive difference in the world, we have helped someone, surely that helps us to go to sleep easier, I'm thinking. So that particular song came off Western Dream, the album of 2005. And I thought, yes, we do have the official clip of that one. That's the kid riding the bike around the streets, and you'll see what I mean. Nothing says Love Generation more than the way this clip has been shot. You'll see Bob Sinclar at the beginning and the end of this clip as well, so you get to see the Frenchman and doing his thing, and just being part of the clip, which is really, really cool. And I thought, yes, Gary Pine was the guy that sang this song. I thought I'd do a live version of this one as well, and here we see Gary singing Love Generation to an audience, and he's just really, really wanting to G the audience up and get them excited and get them inspired. So both of those ones are there. And I thought I'd also just include another song, and this is called Well Hold On, Children of the Sky. This also came off the Western Dream album, and this is the official clip, and this is just a really, really good clip of how young people, a young kid is taking the lead in to solve a world problem. And I think maybe again what Bob is trying to do here is to try and encourage the younger generation to stand up, and also to encourage the world to try and change things with the next generation. The guy who sang this song, this was a collaboration with Steve Edwards. Now, Steve is just one of these guys that whenever he gets on stage, he just makes a really, really big difference to whoever he's collaborating with, and he has released many, many singles over his career. So the clip for that one is also in the description below. Well, don't we all long for peace? The answer to peace is a stillness in our hearts, and the answer to peace is love taking over. Love really, really taking over. It needs to take over because the world cannot keep going the way it is going. You could even take it one step further and to say love for the environment, because the world cannot keep going in that way either. All you need to do is watch David Attenborough's latest movie to start to feel quite unsettled, but also the hope that he possesses in that movie as well. Well, I trust that will be an encouragement for you today. Let's all try to be peacemakers and generators of love in our own small parts of the world. And there certainly are many, many small parts of the world in this world of ours. So see what you can do today even to be a love generator. Well, I trust that will all be an encouragement for you today. Well, if you've come back for another one of these videos, thank you very much for doing so. If this is your first time, welcome to Life Reflections Through Music. All we're doing is we're just trying to encourage us all, including myself, in our life journeys. And if you've hung around to the end when we've talked about being love generators, thank you very much for doing so. We love that kind of engagement. Well, this kind of rounds out the B's today. We're going to be moving on to one of the most iconic classical music composers of all time, one of the most influential, and that is Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. So until then, I'll catch you around.